So the big news in Texas politics at the moment is the race to be Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives behind me there. So obviously the Republicans have a majority in the Texas legislature in both the House and the Senate. They increased their majority slightly in the last election. And they need to go through a process by which they can determine who, on the first day when the session gavels in January, they want to be their Speaker, to lead the chamber. And the Speaker's quite a powerful role. So the Speaker controls things like committee assignments, and they just have a lot of influence over what bills get a committee hearing, which bills just die a quiet death and never even see the light of day. So and they're another key counterpart. So one of the key people in Texas politics. So together with the governor, Greg Abbott, together with the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, who also is the president of the Texas Senate, the three of them together are kind of the triumvirate of Texas politics. So at the moment, there's a lot of uncertainty because no one knows really who the Speaker is going to be. Part of the caucus, of the Republican House caucus, has settled on one candidate, part has settled on another candidate, neither of which have enough to command a majority. So there's 150 members in the Texas House. You need to get to 76, basically, to be able to command a majority and win the speakership. Neither of the two candidates can get there without Democratic help. So although there are more than 76 Republicans, they can't all agree as a unified body on one candidate. So this is causing a lot of issues for those of us who are trying to get positive legislation through the Texas House, who want to see, good reforms, because part of our job as activists, as advocates, is to identify state legislators that we want to work with, pitch them our model policy, explain how it's beneficial to the people of Texas, how it could be politically beneficial to them as well, I suppose, and in their interest to advance it, and then try and get those bills through the process, try and get them a committee hearing, try and make sure they get to a floor vote, and try and, at each step of the way, trying to make sure they have enough support to get through until you get passed through both houses, and then hopefully signed by the governor at the end of the session. All of that's very difficult to do on the House side when you don't know who the Speaker is, because if you don't know who the Speaker of the Texas House is, you don't know who the committee chairman will be. If you don't know who the committee chairman will be, you don't know who's going to have a say on what bills get a hearing and which don't. You don't know which committees will be more prominent, more skeptical or more welcoming of the kind of bills that you want to pass. So all of that, for not just for organizations like IJ that have a legislative agenda that we would like to see enacted, but all other organizations as well, whether it's looking at homelessness and housing, whether it's looking at issues for the elderly, education, young people, taxes, finances, business, regulations, anything like that. All of this is very difficult to plan for all of us, and we're all eagerly watching to see what happens in the Texas House of Representatives over my shoulder there, to see when they can settle on a candidate that the Republican Party can all agree on for Speaker. And at that point, things will become more clear, hopefully. We'll know who's going to be in charge of the key committees. The kind of sentiment towards some hot button issues like school choice, like property taxes, like zoning reform and housing abundance. All these different things are kind of frozen in stasis at the moment because one of the three key roles in Texas politics, that of the Texas House Speaker, is just so uncertain. Dade Phelan's been the Speaker for the last two sessions. He's decided not to run again, and the Republican Party is just in deadlock at the moment, can't unify and agree on a common candidate. So until they do, we're all watching with bated breath to find out what happens. So when I know more, you'll know more. I'll let you know once they've decided on the Speaker, then all of our plans will begin to fall into place, and we at IJ can look forward to trying to promote our legislative agenda in the Texas House.